Right.
If you lose your coverage, thanks to healthcare law, you go in, you do your thing, and you find out your premium may be a little high, your deductible may be a little bit higher, and then you go find out there's your doctor. You sign up for it, and then you find out your doctor's not in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, 80 and the total that Obama was using, I was is that the combination private and Medicaid. 85% of all people signing in is getting into the Medicaid field. Very small is going into the private insurance.
Right.
All right. So what you're doing is you're putting a strain on the individual state that you're in, because eventually, after 3 years, the state takes over a large portion of the Medicaid bill to help to pay for your doctors and everything. So the bottom line is that what you're doing is you're creating a situation where you're bankrupting individual states.
Right.
So
And
it's a big con game.
right. And the little guy gets squashed, and because of this too, the little guy gets hurt too as well. So the big
Right.
corporate, yeah,
You gotta see a lot of doctors. Okay. Only 69% of all doctors belong to Medicaid, so you're limited in doctors if you end up in
right,
Medicaid. Also, like I started to say, your doctor that you normally have may not, because the pools are so small, may not be in the pool that you're in, may not even be in, because a lot of doctors are opting out of Obamacare totally. You might not even have a good hospital. Don't forget, Sloan Kettering and our hospitals already been opted out of Obamacare. Then also, if you have pre-existing conditions, they say, oh, you're going to get covered. No, you're not. In fact, a lot of people with pre-existing conditions are getting denied coverage because it doesn't fit to the criteria of Obamacare.
right. And one thing too with Children's Hospital, also with Children's Hospital Seattle, as well as uh, St. Jude's, they're being cut right now too as well on staff because of the donations. People don't have the money to donate. So we're
Yeah,
also
I'm doing, okay, I'm doing, on the side, I'm working for a company that through my computer system, I can do what they call virtual predicted dollar and do fundraising for different organizations.
mm-hmm.
Right now in California, doing for the burn centers for the burn children.
Oh wow.
And I would say a good 85 to 90% of the people that we talk to either don't have the money or out of work, okay, in that state. So the economy, even though the GDP grew at 4.1%, and the stock market, it's artificial. The unemployment figures that came down a couple months ago went shot right back up because the unemployment, almost 400,000 people lost their jobs or filed for unemployment coverage this week. A big, almost 100,000 people increase. You're going to find out that Obama not only likes to lie personally, but he's fudging the numbers on a lot of things. And I don't trust the GDP numbers at all. I want to see a consistent, like 2 or 3 months in a row to understand what he's doing, because I think all this stuff is to distract from the failure and the lies of Obama and Obamacare to try to save his Democratic Party, because come 2014, he may lose, the Democratic Party may end as we know it, because the majority of the people that stood there and voted and lied about Obamacare and get voted out of office.
Right.
So he's trying to head that off by fudging the numbers like he did with the unemployment rate before the election.
Right.
So in other words, he's a big con. Obama, first of all, Obama is doing something he's not allowed to constitutionally. He's changing the laws himself.
Right.
And he basically is allowing people to have catastrophic coverage now, keep the cash where he was lambasting and said it's not within the guidelines of the law, which it's not.
Right.
And now he waived that yesterday.
Right, he did.
He basically he's circumventing Congress and changing the law. He cannot do that legally.
That's right.
If a bill is run through legislation and it gets past Congress, gets past the Senate, goes to the desk of the president, he signs it. The only way that law changes is if you go before Congress asking it to be amended or repealed replaced or go through this legal system.
Well, he didn't even do that. He did executive order.
The executive branch is not allowed by any means under the Constitution to change any law.
That's correct.
That's the legislative through. He has violated that a number of times. This guy does not belong as a president or the commander-in-chief of the free world. He's not allowed. He doesn't belong in the White House. Where he belongs is in prison.
Right.